My name is Mary Magdalene. You may have heard my story so many times before. I hope you never get tired in hearing it, because I will never get tired in telling it. Let me tell you that Sunday morning, it was dark. No, not just dark. I mean, really dark. It was a darkness I've never known before. This was the darkness that didn't just surround you, but somehow got into your soul and smothered it. I've known dark times before. Of course I had. I was demon-possessed. It doesn't get much darker than that, believe me. There were times that I didn't know what I was doing, what I was saying, where I was going. Sometimes I didn't know who I was. Things had gotten so bad that I didn't even want to know who I was. I even wished for that to relieve me from the torment of those demons. But then, all that was changed by one man. When he spoke, the demons left, the darkness lifted, and the shadows were gone. And then just like that, I was a new woman. I have been a part of a great miracle. A new life started for me as I became a follower of Jesus. A life full of adventure and discovery. And for the first time, the very first time, I knew that life had meaning, purpose, and hope. I'll never forget the day we came to Jerusalem. You should have seen the crowds. There were people from Bethsaida, Capernaum, and everywhere in Galilee. Crowds of people were singing for joy as he entered the city on a donkey. Hosanna! Blessed is the King of Israel! We knew this was big. We were so excited, full of joy and anticipation. The next few days went by in a blur of anticipation and excitement. And then, my life fell apart again. Soldiers came for Jesus. And we watched, helpless, hopeless. He was crucified. We stood there and watched and could do nothing. Where was Peter, Matthew, the others? Where were they? Only John stayed nearby. And in all of this pain, rejection and suffering, Jesus spoke. He spoke words of comfort, comfort to his mother, words of love and concern as he hung there dying.
I am Mary, mother of Jesus. I was flooded with painful memories. Oh, how I wish this were all just a horrible nightmare. I wish they would have crucified me instead. I could feel the whip, the hammer, the nails. How could have Jesus got into so much trouble? Why did he have to leave the carpenter shop? Why did he have to go to Jerusalem? Why was he so angry at the temple? I wish I could have been a better mother. Even the good memories are painful because those are the great moments that are gone and will never return. I remember him feeding thousands, healing the sick, even raising the dead. I remember holding him in a manger with the shepherds. I remember his first words, his first steps, his first day at school, and how he used to hang around the shop helping his dad. Why couldn't it have just stayed that way? Why did he have to be crucified? He didn't deserve to die. Satan has won. Evil has won. Oh, how I wish I could tell him how much I love him. Why didn't he do another one of his miracles and just get down off that cross? And then he died. With his death, darkness returned. When he died, he said, "It is finished." I thought everything that I had hoped for and lived for was also finished. This can't be. It's not possible. This can't be happening. My son couldn't possibly be dead.
At least Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, who were up until then secret disciples, now found the courage to get the body of Jesus for a decent burial according to Jewish custom. Joseph was even willing to give his own personal family burial spot. But still, it was with great sorrow as we watched them lay Jesus on the shelf of rock, and as they rolled the stone across the entrance, the light went out forever.
We went home to prepare the spices and perfumes for the body of my son. I still couldn't believe that he was really dead. The next day was the Sabbath, and on this day we had to rest. But there was no rest for me. I was filled with sorrow, anguish, and anger. Oh yes, anger. I was angry with the Romans, the Jewish disciples, the Jewish council, the disciples who had abandoned him, and I was angry with myself. Maybe I should have tried to persuade him not to enter Jerusalem. Where was my husband when I needed him? How could my son possibly be dead? Why? Why did God let this happen? This was no day of rest. I was filled with pain and utter despair.
Then the first day of the week, and it is so dark, I find myself on the path in the garden, walking to the tomb. Why am I there? Well, where else could I be? In a slowly breaking dawn, I see the tomb. But there's something wrong. The stone has gone, but it's the right tomb. I went inside the tomb with the other women that I met there. But the tomb was empty. We were so confused about this. But the two men said to us, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen." I felt a gleam of hope. But when we told the disciples what the man had said, those disciples couldn't believe us. Two of the disciples even ran to the tomb to see for themselves that it was empty. But of course it was. The tomb was empty. The disciples simply went back to where they were staying. And that little glimmer of hope faded away. Jesus was dead. His body was missing. And all that I had ever hoped for was gone. I felt panic. Would those demons return? I felt confusion. Why would someone take the body of my Lord? I felt utter despair. Without Jesus, my life no longer had meaning. In that moment of proof, emptiness, my heart just broke, and I could do nothing else. I wept for the lost hope and broken dreams. Never had I felt so alone. And then I looked inside the tomb, as if somehow this was all a mistake, and somehow that his body would be there. And two men asked me, why I was crying. Why I was crying. My Lord is not only dead, His body is gone, I said. It didn't seem that things could possibly get worse until I turned and saw him. It was a man who looked just like Jesus. It made the pain cut even deeper. What was happening here? Had those demons returned already? Were they tormenting me again? Teasing me with this image of Jesus? Then the man said to me, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Was this a dream? No, it's not a dream. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. After all, Jesus was dead and I have seen him die. Then he spoke my name. "Mary." That's all he said. But when I heard him call my name, I felt that this man could really be Jesus. No, he was Jesus. Not dead. No, not by any means, but alive and very real. My Lord has risen. Yes, my Lord has risen. I wanted to stay with him, but he told me to go and tell the disciples that he would be ascending to heaven. I went straight to the disciples with the wonderful news. "I have seen the Lord. I have seen the Lord."